Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you decide to do this piece. So today we are actually going to be in chapter 7 of our book, our project 7. So we're here doing the folding travel brochure, and we're working on doing the folding piece right now. So we're going to go ahead and open our InDesign, and you're going to have this right here. So what we need to do is go to open. And I got to find my files because it's been a minute. So files, because we were on spring break. Fun times. Student files. We're in InDesign. Why are they not showing? All readable files. All files. There we go. All files. And we are going to be doing the Australia. So I've got to unzip this. So we're going to extract all. Say extract all here. You'll see it opens up right here. So this one, we are going to do just make sure that we have everything. We're not going to actually open any of them up yet. You should have links here, and you will have these files here. So we know that we have all of those. And we're going to go ahead and move this whole folder here to the student files. And we're going to bring it down into our WIP files. So you'll see Australia right here, and that's going to be our project 5. So we're going to close that for now. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to File, New, and we're going to go to Document. Now in our document, what we're going to do up here is we're going to change this to say letter fold. We're going to be in inches. Page width is going to be 4, and our height is going to be 9. Facing pages needs to be unchecked, and primary text frame needs to be checked. Our column needs to be 1. Our margins needs to be 25 on all sides. So it's linked, so that's good. See how it's all 25. Our bleed, oops, didn't mean to close that down. Let me open that back up. Our bleed is going to be 0.125 on all 4 sides. And our slug, this one, make sure it's broken because it's going to be a little bit different. So our top and our bottom is going to be 0.5. And our left and right, we're going to leave those as 0. And we're going to say create. Now it should look something like this. So what you see up here, this is your slug guide. And this here, the red, is your bleed guide. And then right here, the black is your page edge. Okay, so we're going to say File, Save As. And then here we're going to go to our Work in Progress folder in our Australia folder. And we're going to save this file as the letter fold and make sure it's the InDesign. Just making sure that it's saved in our Work in Progress folder. Now, in our Pages panel here, we're going to control, so you're going to hit your control or your command, and we're going to right click on the A page name and choose the parent option for A parents in the contextual piece. So parent options here. In the name field, we're going to type out outside with marks, and we're going to type in the number 3 for the number of pages, and we're going to say okay. All right, so when we do this, what's going to happen is when we see over here, if you double click the name here, you'll see that there's a 3-panel page now. All right, and these kind of show you where the middle is, where the fold is going to be. All right, so using the selection tool, this right here is the live area. So with the selection tool, we're going to click on the inside of the left page of the spread so that we can select this text frame right here. And we're going to click the option or alt. So if you have Mac, it's option. If you have the PC, it's going to be alt. And we're going to click on this button here. So we're going to click on this. We're going to hold the alt button. We're going to grab this and we're going to drag it over here. So now you have one here and one here. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to click over here, and we're going to drag it over here. So now you have 3 text boxes on all 3 sides. From here, we're going to click on the page tool, which is this one here. It's usually your third one down. And we're going to click onto the pasteboard over here so that we're not selecting any of these three. We're going to click on this one here on the left side. And you're going to see there's little handles up here that kind of identify that we're on this selected page. Now, what we can do here is once you do this, you kind of see these little pieces here. Now, if there is a little bit of an issue, what we can do is you can hold this down and say 1, 2, 3, and it should appear like this here. No, wait, sorry. Up here in the control panel. Up here, we're going to go to object based, make sure that is clicked, and we're going to check that the object move. We're going to make sure that this is checked, and we're going to make sure that this button here, that the right center reference point is checked as well. We're going to click in the W field after the existing value is already in there, and we're going to type in minus 0.125 and hit enter, and it's going to make the adjustments for us. So don't remove the 4 that was in there. You're just going to go all the way to the end, type in the minus 1 or 0.125, and it'll change it to 3.875 and adjust it for you. Now it is adjusting, everything is still like the 0.25. It's just adjusted it a little bit for you there. So now we're going to hit Control S, and it's going to save it, and we're going to move on. Okay, so click off of that. We're going to go to the type tool, and we are going to create a text frame above the left panel spread between the bleed and the slug. So somewhere kind of like here. And we're going to type in outside left panel fold in. And we're going to put in the centered paragraph alignment. And what I can do here is I'm going to kind of just make it to where it's only right here so I can kind of see it. And it's telling me that this is the outside left panel and that it's going to fold in. We're going to choose Window, Output, and then here we're going to go to Attributes. And you see this little piece right here. Making sure that the text frame in the slug area is selected, and then we're going to click on the non-printing button. So you want to make sure this is selected, and then you hit on the non-printing. So now making sure that I have the selection tool still selected, I'm going to hit my Alt button, and I'm going to click and drag this over, and I'm going to label this one center panel, outside center panel, and then the part here is going to be labeled as mailing area. And then I'm going to do my selection piece again. It's selected. I'm going to hit the Alt tool, and I'm going to drag it over here. I need to move this out of my way, but I'm going to go ahead and drag this and put it here. And then I'm going to select this, and I'm going to type in right, outside right panel, and I'm going to put this as front. So now everything is labeled. So using the line tool, I'm going to click the slug guide above the line that separates the left and center page spread. Okay. So figured out what we're going to do. You're going to take your line. You're going to go here. The easiest way to do this is follow this line here. You're going to take your line and you're going to hit Shift, and you're going to go up from there and go up to your slug line is the best way to do it so that they match. And then over here, ignore that for a second. You're going to make sure that your stroke is a 0.5 and it's black. And that will set that off right there. And just to be sure that it's there, you're going to go up here to your reference point, and you're going to click on the top center one and make sure that it's at 3.875, and that'll make sure that it is lined up perfectly. Now you're going to go to your window, you're going to go to your stroke here, and we're going to go to the dash. Choose the dash. After choosing the dash, we are going to, it says to type it in, but I don't see that as being an option here. So we're going to click the 3 and 2. So it looks like it wanted to be a 3 points and leave it at that. We're going to hit enter. Yeah, it's not showing me. And here it says if you don't see the type menu in the stroke panel, open the panel options menu. There isn't an options menu because that's your hide option. So we got show our options. So that's as good as we're going to get right here. That's okay. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to make sure that that is doing its part. Yep, everything is the way it's supposed to be. I just wanted to double check some things. Yep, so there you can kind of see up close now. It's that dotted line. So we're going to leave that be. We're going to clone that. And we're going to now, we're going to paste it. And we're going to change this one over to 7.875. And the Y is going to be minus 0.5 as well. And there you go. Now when we zoom back out, you will see that they are both where they are supposed to be on either side here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this line and this one. We're going to copy them both. And we're going to paste them down here at the bottom. So now that we have them on the bottom of the slug as well, we're going to save it. And we're going to continue on to the next exercise. All right, so now here on the bottom, we're going to create another new little text area. Now with this one, we need an insertion point. So we're going to go in here and we're going to click type, text variable. And we're going to select insert variable, file name. And it's going to automatically put in letterfold. Okay. This creates a single anchor point object for us. So after this, where it says letterfold, we're going to go ahead and press the space bar. And then we're going to type in the forward slash, and then we're going to type in modified colon. And then space bar again. And then we're going to choose type, text variable, insert variable, and then we're going to do modification date. And you can see now it's putting the date and time that we were doing adjustments. And you want it to fit only on the left hand side. So now what we're going to do while we're still in here, we're going to go back up here. We're going to go to type, text variable, and we're going to select define. Here we're going to select, if I can see it, we're going to click on the new button. And in the name, we're going to put project status. And the type, we're going to put custom text. And in the text field, we're going to type project status. Spacebar. So we're going to click on this little arrow button, and we're going to click the ellipses here from the attached menu, and you'll see that this should pop up in there. And this is what you want it to do. This is like a special character for us, okay? With that there, we're going to do the space bar again, and we're going to type in work in progress. And we're going to say, okay, this right here is making it the 3 dots here, as you can see. Say okay, and then say done. We're going to go all the way over here to the right. We're going to create a new text box. We're going to go back up to type, and we're going to do text variables, insert variable, and we're going to do the project status here. Now you can see that when we zoom out, see how this kind of all works out? All right, so we're going to go back up here to the selection tool. We're going to choose edit and select all. We're going to hit our shift key, and we're going to click each one of these text boxes that we were typing in. We're going to remove those from our active selection right now. And we are going to control and right click inside any of these selected objects. And then we're going to say allow, we're going to make sure that we deactivate the allow parent item overrides. So you don't want it to be checked is our goal. And that way allow the parent. I'm going to show you again. So now you can see that it's no longer checked here. Okay. And so you're going to Control S to save it. Control S. Move on. Okay. Now we're going to work on the inside. So we're going to go back over here to our parent things here. I'm going to hit the control button, right click, and I'm going to say duplicate. And I'm going to control and right click here. I'm going to click on parent options for B. And in the prefix, I'm going to leave that alone for now. And the name, I'm going to type in inside with marks. And I'm going to say okay. And you'll see now I have outside and I have an inside. I want to be able to see the whole thing. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So I'm going to choose my page tool again. Make sure that this is the object based and that this is selected again. Once again, I'm going to click in here and I'm going to hold down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for this one's going to be a little tricky. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over here and you're going to click on this and you're going to drag it all the way to the end here. And you're going to see up at the top where it says left hand or outside left panel fold in. When you let go of this over here, now you're going to see where the outside left panel fold in is over here. That is what we want to see when we do this piece. Okay. So, we're going to go here. Whoop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes. So I'm going to say inside left panel. And delete all of that. This one's going to say inside center panel. This one's going to say inside right panel dash fold in. Choose the selection tool. Make sure nothing is selected. I'm going to go over here to this. Move that in just a little bit because I need to be able to get to this over here. You should have your dotted line, which I can't find mine. So because I can't find it, I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. That's okay. I'll just copy it. So I got it here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it and I'm going to say that my X is going to go to 8. And of course we all know that that is 0.5 or minus 0.5 actually. There we go. For the Y is minus 0.5. All right, so where it says the file name, I'm going to drag that over here to the left side. And where it says work in progress, I'm going to drag it over here to the right side. And where my little doohickey should be over here. And he's not. Somehow he's disappeared too. I'm going to make a copy of this one. And I'm going to make him a 0.8 as well. Where's my dotted one? There he is. I'm going to drag him down here. Okay. And I'm going to hit Control S. So now we're kind of back to where we were, but now we're on the other one. Okay. So I'm going to click on the top half up here. I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to click on this one here. And then I'm just going to hit the delete button. And it's going to give me a warning, and I'm just going to say, okay, cool. So now I only have these 3 pages. I'm going to click on these 3, if it will let me. There we go. I'm going to drag them down. So now I'm going to say view, and I'm going to say fit spread in the window. And it's going to show me 1 through 3 because I'm clicking on that spread at the moment. And if I want to, I can actually reduce the percentage here to see it a little bit smaller if I wanted to. And if I wanted to see like the slug, I could actually knock it down a little bit more. Now I can see my slug areas. So I'm going to hit Control, right click, make sure I select them all. I'm going to hit Control, right click, and choose override all parent page items. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here. Override all parent page items. And then here I'm going to open the preference. So go to Edit, Preferences, Type. And here I'm going to go and uncheck the Smart Text option right here. And then just say OK. I'm going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to click here and say Template down here. Leave it as letterfold and hit Save. We're going to go ahead and close this file and move on to the next stage of our piece. So now we're going to go here. We're going to go to Open, go to Australia, and we're going to go to letterfold here. Say Open. File, Save As. And now we're going to change it to Aussie-fold. Making sure that these 3 are selected. I'm going to double click on them. Here in the type text, I'm going to go to page 3. And I'm going to type in Australia. And I'm going to make sure that I'm using the Oxonic Bold in the type font of size 80. Make sure that you can see the whole thing. All right. So with the type tool, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start kerning some pieces. So I'm going to change the kerning between the different letters. And it's telling me exactly where I need to change certain things. So that's what I'm going to start actually working on. So I'm going to go over here to character and I'm going to find my kerning, which is here. And I'm going to change this first one to -80. And it's telling me all through all of them. So -70, +20, -20, -30, -10. If I wanted to kind of see what that's going to look like, all of them together, I can very easily do that by just stretching it out. So in the selection tools, I'm going to choose type, create outline. Now the text frame is gone, you're going to see, and it's replaced by a bounding box of the group of letters. So with this, we're going to be able to change some things and control them. So now, because this is bound, I'm going to rotate this counterclockwise by 90 degrees. And I'm going to bring this here to the top right corner, to that top right corner. And then I can drag the bottom handle until it snaps to the bottom bleed over here. Now you see that it's changing the width and not the height, and they're all going together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this piece here until I see that the height is changing until it says 1.62. It's going to give me a little bit of a fit, so I'm going to just change it to 1.625 and adjust it to where I want it to be. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to say File, Place. And I'm going to go find where it says kangaroo here. I'm going to say Open. Notice that this changes because it changes inside the selected item. It's just replacing and going right directly into the shape of the letters. Now, when you see the content grabber, which is a little hand thing, I'm going to select the image on the inside. Now you can see, I can see the little kangaroo now. I can actually see the picture. And what I can do now is I can rotate because I want to rotate this image. So we're going to center this up to about where I think it needs to be, probably about here. And we're going to rotate the image to 0. Whoop, wrong one. Make sure that's selected. And then do 0. Grab your image again, bring it over, and move it so that you can still see the kangaroo in your picture. See how you can see the kangaroo there? That's kind of how you want to place it. All right, so with that, I want to see kind of how you go with the rest of the steps. Follow along in the book. Up to this point, I have given y'all step-by-step instructions so far with everything we've done. At this point, I want to see how you guys can do with the step-by-step instructions on your own in the book. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Let me know if you're having problems, and we will go from there. Enjoy this challenge. This is actually a fun one, a little bit of a challenge, but you definitely can do it.